Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. Today's battle is the Ensk map, and we've got 3 of the World of Tanks Asia community contributors. We're following Napalmer, and we've got Ziggy and Stewie JP, and they're all in the Tier 5 British wheeled medium tanks, the AEC. Now this is on the ANZ server, one of the few last battles that's going to happen on this server. As you probably know, it's going to a cloud-based server in Singapore. So let's treasure this. Alright, posse of AECs going up the field. And as I mentioned, it's on the ANZ server, so there are bots in the game, and it looks like we've got 5, maybe 6 human players on each side. Alright, now, we haven't had a video with the AEC yet, but it's got a bit of a, I'd say it's a pew-pew gun, but it's got a very fast rate of fire and reasonable aiming time, but fairly alpha. I think the average alpha is 90 or even 80. That's how still don't want to have a look at the ammo there, but Napalmer's managed to pump out 400, now 500 hit points of damage. So just you can see how quickly the gun fires. So it's not a 2-shot autoloader like the Crusader has, but yeah, just pretty quick firing. Let's try and get rid of all the guns you can. So here we go. That M8A1 can actually be a bit dangerous, but he's facing the other way and actually trying to take Stewie JP apart. But there's a lot of action up here at this end of the map. So here we go, got another human player. As I've mentioned before on this games on this server, you want to get rid of the human players, or the non-AI players I should say, and because they're obviously the ones with the best idea about what to do in the game. But Napalmer taking a bit of damage here, trying to get rid of this Strip BZ39, or ST BZ39 I should say. It looks like both Ziggy and Stewie have finished their time in this game. All taken out by this dangerous TD that hands out Slip 4C. And here comes a Matilda 4-2, also a pretty dangerous tank in terms of its armour. And he's full health. It's been driven by a bot, so luckily he's not even looking at Napalmer, so Napalmer can just pump his shells in. He's already run out of his standard shells. He's had to switch, well, not had to, but has to use his remaining ammo, which is a mix of premium and HE at the moment, or we can see the TD is actually looking at him. So decides to not push his luck and take a quick shot, and you can see that TD is trying to follow him because he's been spotted and he knows where he's going. And if he didn't run the trains, he'd be further down the train line, but also the KV1, which is another non-AI player. But take a chance here and try and catch some crossing as he has. Unfortunately, that didn't seem to hit, so he's been spotted. Of course, the Ensk map is the smallest map in the game, and he's just diving in and out, trying to confuse this KV1 player and prevent him from getting an aim and putting a shot into him. But so far not taking a lot of health off him. I'm driving with the trains again. Come on, Napalmer, a bit of this. So you can see the TD's looking at him still, keeping his gun towards where Napalmer is heading, and obviously trying to catch him crossing. So Napalmer's cunning plan normally like this is to put a bit of distance between him and the target. Hopefully their view range is not so spectacular. You can see where Napalmer's view range circle goes. It's almost at the end of the map, even when he's on one end of the map. So sneaks past the TD. Oh, lucky to get spotted then, so that's interesting. Can he get a free shot into him? Yes, he can. Bang, and quickly dives out of the way. So it looks like the reverse speed on this AEC is actually pretty decent. And certainly, in terms of maneuverability, it changes directions pretty quickly, which is not bad. And it's also not typical of the British wheeled medium line. Anyway, Napalmer lost his platoon mates. He's got 4 kills so far. He's already got 2.4k damage, which To be honest, not surprising in a game filled with AI players on the ANZ server. If you're playing at tier 5 or below, do see some pretty decent damage games here. He finds another human player there and snaps a shot into him and gets rid of him. So it looks like Napalmer's strategy here is to try and catch as many tanks by surprise as possible and get rid of them. Or this T80, which is also a human, non-human player. And what he needs to do is get rid of these guns, because eventually they'll all start overwhelming him. So he's teamed up a little bit in terms of guns, one in advance, but they aren't down in hit points, and Napalmer's not the only one there. But he's only got AI players left on his side. Now, they can actually do a bit of damage. They're not completely useless. They've been known to use premium ammunition from time to time. And they can even cap out, so it's not impossible to win with AI players if you're the only one left. But what Napalmer can try and get is to have them distract the non-AI players and get some hit points. So when he's been spotted, so the KV-1 knows where he is, he snaps towards him. Unfortunately, that doesn't hit. You can see Napalmer's running food, so we can assume he's also running at least a full stack of equipment, maybe even bonded equipment. He's certainly got plenty of bonds. Napalmer, I think, has maybe got the highest amount of bonds on the survey. He's got over 300,000, and that is not a joke. So you can certainly afford plenty of equipment. Alright, so 9 all now. They're significantly down in hit points, but if he can get rid of these tanks, he's got the B1 there. Now there's a bot tank, but his gun is facing this way, and oh yeah, there you go, Napalmer's taken a hit. So he's just trying to keep the tank at arm's length there. Keep the building between him and the tank. He takes another hit, so Napalmer down to 132 hit points. He's definitely one-shottable by the KV-1 as he gets another kill. And luckily the bot tanks have taken out the TD, so it's only one bot and the KV-1 left. And he's getting capped out, so he zooms back down the other end of the map. You can see just doing over 55 k's there, or up to 57, 58. Bit of a long haul to 60 k's, 61 even. So it's not bad speed, but looks like you've got to wind it up a fair bit. But certainly the initial acceleration is pretty good, so apart from that. So can he spot out the KV-1? Yes, he can. KV-1 notorious bad view range, and he hasn't been spotted. Well, he may have been now, but he has been. Takes a hit from the T80, and he can probably get rid of him before he fires again. Yes, he can. So that's 8 kills now for Napalmer. I haven't been tracking them, but that's a Radley-Walters medal any day of the week. And they've got a bot on the cap at the end. And the other player would know, or should know, basically the health level of Napalmer. He knows he's only got a small amount of health, and he can probably afford to ignore him for the moment. But what he can't afford is to have the to be capped out. But that's really interesting what he's trying to do. So Napalmer trying to get a shot into him as he goes. That didn't work. Luckily he's still got quite a fair bit of ammo, so that looks like one of the characteristics of this particular wheel vehicle is it's unlikely to run out. Napalmer closing in on 3.5k damage for a tier 5 game. That is, particularly in a medium tank, that's pretty impressive. So he's got a good chance of putting some shots into this KV-1 as he's running away, particularly if he's not facing Napalmer's direction. So he's going to take a risk here, pop out. Yeah, he's definitely facing the other way. And I think he'll get rid of him before he gets to the end of the railway lines, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 2 more shots. 1 more shot, and he'll get rid of him. Bang, and that is the game. 9 kills, 4k of damage. That's just outrageous. Alright, let's take a quick look at the results. 9 kills, that's the Radley-Walters medal that you see. And the top gun, of course, for getting the first 6 kills, and 4k of damage is in the high caliber reward, and we've got the defender medal as well for reducing the cap points that the enemy was accumulating. I think you get at least 80 hit points to get that. And the Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, of course, which is not surprising. So let's have a look at the team scores. So he's finished with 1755 base experience. That's again just ridiculous. M10 RBM FM, very common to find in the Tier 5 games on the ANZ server. And on the enemy side, yeah, the P43 and the KB1 coming out with more than 1k, so respectable play by those 4 players. And it looks like Ziggy and Stewie didn't last long enough in the battle to really have a great effect, but that's okay. It was on stream, and I'm sure there was a lot of laughs involved. So let's see. Did it cost money? It did. Again, this Tech Treat tank, Tier 5, although it's sort of mostly profitable for most people, if you're using food and premium ammunition, it quickly becomes unprofitable, and this is what we see here. So a loss of 38k, but nonetheless, great game there from Napalmer, and well done Napalmer and Stewie and Ziggy for showcasing the new British wheel tank lines on their streams. I'll put links to their Twitch channels in the description below. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, it's probably a good time to do it. We'll have more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.